Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and it's about the pasta. I almost forgot for a second. A podcast all about Vanderpump Rules. I don't know what I'm saying. A Vanderpump Rules podcast. Oh my God, I want to die. Um, what day is it? I'm just kidding.
It's just, listen, after that episode, after the
I'm
2 months
broken.
we've had, after
Holy
this
shit.
season, like,
You guys know
woof.
what this is. If you're listening, you fucking got it. Okay, we're gonna go through housekeeping really quick. Check us out on the ANN Podcast Network. We have this podcast, we have Summer's Fun, a Summer House podcast, and we have One Season Wonders. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. We've gotten a ton of new ratings because we like got 40 ratings since last
Oh
time
my
I've checked, maybe 20
God.
actually. But we also have one new review. It's
Yay.
from Jess Harf, and it's 5 stars titled Poo Poo Head. And it says, "Let's go. I'm a James stan. I'm thrilled you are too. What a freaking season. And I've enjoyed laughing with you girls through this and the dumpster fire that is Summer House right now."
Oh God. Thank you
We're
for
not
joining us for both,
we're
first
not here to
off.
talk about the dumpster fire. Let's focus on the good.
The
Amazing.
good and the bad.
But amazing.
Uh, Thank you for the review.
But the
We
amazing.
appreciate you joining
Thank you so
us.
much, Jess. Okay. What are we doing next? Follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. Join us on Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our pre-shows. We're not doing one this week. It was my decision. You can yell at me or write bad things about me. I don't care. But like I couldn't handle it mentally.
And like I just wanted to dive in. It's so hard to like hold ourselves
Yeah.
back when there's
uh,
so much good to like
yeah.
things to talk
We have
about.
to just do this. And also you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, when we go back and watch old episodes, we do an after show to talk about current Bravo news, and you get access to that. And then also we'll say your name on the podcast. So thank you to Brittany, Chris, Danae, Darby, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Aisha, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Katie, Kelsey, Chrissy, Lady Swamp Witch, Laura, Lauren, Sarah, Cameron, Tyranny, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, April, Amy, Emily, Gina, Jennifer H, Jennifer T, Kirsten, Sarah, Taylor, Tiffany. I got it. That's it.
Incredible. What a list we've accumulated in these live seasons.
Oh my
Thank
God,
you,
I
everyone.
know. Used to know the list. You should just be one person. And now look at this. And then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get to give us your thoughts, questions, concerns, everything for the live seasons. And also we will pick a patron of the episode. So this week's patron of the episode is Tyranny, because apparently she's been
Woo!
DMing a lot with
Oh my
Meredith.
God,
And
so much. We've been going back and forth. Like I literally log into it every day just to chat with her.
yeah, great. Hey, Tierney. And also she always participates when I post. So 10 out of 10. Okay, let's get into it because I can't handle. I took so many notes. I texted Meredith this. Reunions are very hard, especially when they all
Yes.
scream. Because then I don't
I
know.
love them. They're
I love.
so entertaining.
I hate to recap.
Okay, really quick to just set the scene. Did you watch the pumped up version?
I watched the extended version on
Yes.
Peacock.
Okay. I watched it last night. I caught the
Same.
second showing at 11 p.m. and then I watched it again today, the pumped up version.
Yeah,
Because
I watched both.
I couldn't hold myself back. I had to watch Survivor finale and then I watched
Oh,
Vanderpump Rules.
amazing. I watched this one last night and now, or the original last night, and then I watched
Yeah.
this one just
I kind of
now.
liked watching both because then it really helped me focus in on the like deleted
The stuff
scenes,
they
I'll call.
cut, which is
Yeah,
rude.
which was
There was
really
a lot of good
stuff.
shit they cut. I don't
Yes,
understand.
really recommend if you have Peacock to go watch it.
Okay, but basically how we're gonna try and do this is I'm trying to break it down by question that Andy asks. If there is screaming, don't get mad if we miss something someone said. I just picked out like the funniest quote that made me laugh. And
There's
that's
a
how this is
lot
gonna go.
of like side conversations.
Lost.
And let me just say, amen to Lala and James.
My
They were
favorite.
incredible the
My
entire
stars.
episode, but there was, I think, too much.
No,
to,
my
like,
absolute stars. I never want them to
cover it.
stop. No,
Oh, agree.
Ariana,
No, but what I'm
love.
saying it's like hard to write everything down. So like just
Amazing.
gold
Yes,
stars
we
for
know.
them overall.
Great. Yeah, we know that they're great. So we have like tonight on the Vanderpump reunion. I didn't know how else to describe it besides everyone shouts at each other. So then we have one day before the reunion. Andy has one-on-ones with Sandoval, Ariana, and Raquel. I thought it was gonna be more of like we hear Sandoval out, we hear Raquel out, we
Me
hear
too.
Ariana out. Also, I'm gonna try and call her Rachel at some point. I take my
I
notes.
flip between them.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I thought we were gonna get that. We instead just kind of jump like question to
Yeah, which
question.
I kind of get now why they maybe would leave Rachel out
Yes,
because she hasn't
she's
joined
not
the
in this.
group.
She's 100
And
yards away.
and like let's be honest, her side is probably the most groundbreaking since she didn't film a lot for the finale.
And she hasn't done a Howie Mandel podcast.
Yes. And so I was like, okay, we're going to leave hers out. But I really thought that we were going to get way more from Ariana and Tom to like set the scene.
I did too. So I'm just gonna bounce around with him.
Okay.
Andy tells Sandoval he's the most hated man on TV. Ariana tells Andy that her and Sandoval avoid each other in the house. Rachel's preparing for the worst but hopes for the best with the
Gross.
reunion.
Gross. Why are you hoping for the best? Like, have some self-awareness. This already lit me up.
I know Andy asked this question and we get it cut off because it's a Rachel question, but like, what was the thought process? I have to know. Where did you
Yes.
think, if everything had gone according to plan, how
I
did you
can't wait
think
for
this
that
group
answer.
was going to happen? Like, what
Yeah.
was your thought? Anyway, so Ariana has not spoken to Raquel. Raquel did text her 48 hours after,
Oh,
I guess, the news broke. Ariana said in the text, it said, "You are dead to me." And Raquel said, "Ariana, I don't know what to say right now. Besides, I really fucked up and I'm so, so, so sorry."
do
And
you think
Ariana said, "Shut the fuck up, you fucking rat." And it's really nice that they didn't on the whatchamacallit, the Peacock version, they don't blur out the fucks.
cuss words or
Yeah,
bleep them?
it
Love
hits
it.
different when you hear
Yes.
the fuck. It's
Yes.
wild.
Do
And now
you
Raquel's blocked. Sorry, I had to
do you
finish.
think she just is the D and the S word, or that she just truly doesn't understand the magnitude of this?
I truthfully
Or
do.
doesn't care?
Okay,
Third
so
option.
I think it's layered. I think she's incredibly stupid. But on top of that, I think Sandoval, who's very manipulative and loves like a weak person, he fed to her like, this is going to be our plan. Everyone's going to be okay with it. Like, we're going to come out. Like, I'm going to break up with Ariana. It's going to be perfectly fine when we start dating because we're in love. And I think she believed that. And like it
Mm.
wasn't supposed to happen this way.
And
Like
probably
every
told her like all the lies about the relationship, that like it's not a real relationship. We're
yeah,
just doing
but
it for the
like
cameras.
realistically, if my boyfriend of 9 years dumped me and then started dating my best friend, I fucking hate those two regardless if they were cheating on me during or not.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all
Yeah.
trash to me. But I
Yeah.
think in her mind, she's like, Sandoval fed me this lie that like it would be okay. So like it should still
Yeah.
be okay.
That's true. Like
They just
he's
need to
setting the
calm
tone
down.
for how she's gonna think.
Yeah, they just need to calm down.
Or he's saying like they're just overreacting.
Yeah, what this will blow over. Well, we'll get our
Yeah.
friends back. That I think that's like her thoughts still.
Okay.
Okay, so Sandoval realized he had feelings for Raquel throughout last year, like the
Gross.
beginning. So like January when he was fucking Ariana.
Like
Um,
before they even had an idea, like this is January 2022, right?
yes. No, 2020.
2022, because the
Oh,
affair, like this is more than a
ew.
year.
No,
Yeah,
no,
this is like
no. No,
yes.
I thought I took it as feelings though. They had that one
Oh,
night stand, quote
okay.
unquote, in August or whatever. Then they stopped. Supposedly, this is the story. They stopped, and then I think January 2023, he was like,
3.
"Oh, this amazing person is
Man, I took it as
Raquel."
January
No,
2022
no,
and I
no,
was
no.
like,
Go back. No, I think he's
he's spinning the
realistically,
story that
yes. If
okay.
you ask me, I think he started to have feelings with her at Coachella 2022. So
Mm-hmm.
April. And then I think because that's when he started planting the seeds and like the hot tub that we'll
Yeah.
get into. So I think January 2023 is what he's claiming.
Is when he's trying to spin the story
Is his
around.
story of that's when he told Schwartz and he ended his story.
Oh,
So
this is so funny.
we'll get in.
His
We'll get in.
story is like I find it so comical.
Yeah, so they first hooked up at a see you next or so after guys night there was a see you next Tuesday after that, and then that's when they went to the Abbey and hooked up and they did have sex that night. Ariana says she was not suspicious of anything. Andy asks, like watching the show back, like you were so loyal to Tom. And Ariana's like, yeah, he was my like life partner. If he gave me an answer, I like believed him.
Which like
What
she's
fucking
so
partners
incredible.
do. Yeah, I would have fucking followed him to Schwartz. No, I wouldn't have. I don't have time for that. My shows are
I
on.
would have lost my mind a little bit, like with the intensity of the rumors.
I think I would have wanted to, but if I already have his location and he's where he said he's going,
Yeah, that's a
I'd
good
be like,
point.
no worries. Plus we have shows to watch. Why are we worried about a man? Okay, Andy asks about glamping, and Sandoval says they weren't together then. They had this one hookup, then they took a break, and then after Life is Beautiful, which was September, like middle of September, someone looked it up on
End of
Twitter.
some, I think
Nope, someone looked it up.
but it was after
September,
they finished
September
filming.
16th was Life is Beautiful.
Rachel's birthday is like September 12th.
Okay,
so it's very quickly after her birthday.
Yeah. And like just because they didn't film Life is Beautiful doesn't mean they like weren't filming other things.
That's true.
But someone looked it up. Life is Beautiful was September 16th through the 18th of 2022.
Oh my God.
But they first hooked up end of August. So someone was like, so you took a 2-week break?
I know. I thought the same thing because they put on the screen, you know, September 2022. I was like, this isn't a break. This is like you trying to navigate how to like make this affair work in your life.
It was 2 weeks.
This is called strategizing.
At best, they took a 2-week like break from hooking up, which like could have just been them not seeing each other, like truthfully.
Like they saw each other, but they weren't fucking.
But this Ariana's, also
like, driveway.
Yeah, the fucking was going on during BravoCon, which I'm pissed they didn't pick up on this sexual energy when we were there. Not
Listen,
that I
there was
even thought.
I mean, we were distracted by the Schwartz and Raquel stuff.
Yes, because it was. I mean, Sandoval was weirdly quiet, I thought, but like I thought it was just because Schwartz was getting shit on with the Katie divorce. And we had like the Lala separation. We had the James and Raquel.
There was a lot going on.
This was so hidden. I'm so upset. Because remember Sandoval and Ariana both said when there was that question, like who will have the most to answer for at the reunion, both Ariana and Sandoval said Raquel.
Which is
wild. It's so goddamn
insane.
Fucking wild. I'm upset. Okay. So Andy asked, like, you know, you do these shows. You did one at BravoCon. You see Ariana and Raquel in the front. Like, did that get you off to see your girlfriend and your mistress? And Sandoval's like, no, oh my God, what a ridiculous question, Andy.
He's so dramatic about his answer. He's like, no.
Absolutely not.
Anytime he is very like boisterous with his responses, I don't believe a word he's saying.
Meredith, it's called acting.
This man is probably I could act. I have thought this a lot over the last 2 weeks. I think I could act better than him.
He's a professional actor. I don't know what you're even talking about.
He's a professional like boy band
cheater
guy who sucks and cheater and gross nail polish.
Okay, looking back, Ariana does see things that she doesn't know how she missed it more with Rachel because like men are trash, so you kind of expect men to screw you, but you never expect your girlfriends to do this to you.
Yeah.
So like the fact that her friend did this was insane. Andy then asked Sandoval like how things even came to cheating on your girlfriend of 9 years with one of your closest friends. And Sandoval says, you know, him and Ariana had this private relationship. He felt like her gay BFF.
Which I'm sorry.
I hate when he diminishes the relationship. I like genuinely hate that.
Because all he does whenever he's asked questions about how this affair happened, all he does is diminish the relationship. He doesn't explain how it happened.
Yeah. And he continues to talk about how like he told his showrunner how like it's so unfair that they don't show everything. Like, oh my God,
then show it.
It's not fair to the rest of the cast, which like I think were also seeds planted because this man does not care about the rest of the cast.
No.
Like at all. So then Andy asks Ariana, like, were you hiding parts of your relationship? And Ariana says from her point of view, she thought they shared everything, but he's spinning it differently because he's desperate. And like he used to coach Ariana and like say things like they got to get their stories right and like they have to spin it together because if they have the same answer it looks better.
Yeah,
which so Ariana's like, I know he's just spinning the story to make it look better.
And the thing is like, listen, I actually respect them for their like code of listen, we're not going to disparage each other and we're going to have each other's back in front of the camera, like
which is how a relationship should be. Schwartz should have done that with Katie.
We talk about that all the time, like you you have your partner's back in public and then you like chastise them in private and like correct them in private.
Which Ariana definitely chastised him because he's sitting here
Yes.
bitching about how Ariana never said he was right. Which,
Oh,
like, okay.
honestly, Jesus, I kind of already forgot about that. But like, I understand having like a code, like, hey, we're going to keep some things between us. That's a private relationship, and I don't mind that. Ariana is very much an open book about her life, especially her mental health. So like, I don't think she's like hiding much outside of just trying to protect her relationship from like the worst of reality TV.
I think from the rumors, right? Because there are always rumors. There's been rumors on every housewife husband. There's rumors constantly swirling about cheating. Like, just we're gonna protect our relationship from the rumors.
Like, I'm gonna have your back, and I get that.
I do too.
But if you're upset she didn't get you batteries and you know, paper towels.
It was paper towels and toilet paper and pens.
And like, then fine, bring that up. Like, bring that up sooner.
Ariana said on the Call Her Daddy, did you listen to it? That Tom Sandoval has an assistant that he'll just text and say we're out of batteries and she'll bring the batteries over.
Like, come
so
on.
He doesn't shop for batteries.
So dumb.
Okay, so Ariana has moved on from tears to anger, but she said indifference is coming in strong. Sandoval is nervous and scared to see everyone at the reunion, but's ready to face it, and one single tear falls.
I can't with this man. I literally can't.
So it's day of the reunion. Everyone's getting ready. Let's go straight to walkouts. Schwartz is out first. Andy asks, were you being silent or silenced? Schwartz says both.
That was pretty
Lala
funny.
comes out looking amazing. Katie comes out looking amazing. James comes out looking amazing. Sheena comes out looking amazing, except for the shoes. Lisa comes out, looks fine, subpar at best.
I'm like so annoyed with Lisa.
Her dress wasn't even good. Like, I couldn't even be like, she's fired.
I'm so an anti-Lisa person after this reunion. I'm just
same.
So like, this is clouded judgment here.
Ariana comes out looking amazing. And so I love watching other people's faces when like things are happening. So she walks out. Lala is like, oh my God, you look great. James and Katie are beaming.
Yep.
In her revenge dress. And then Sandoval's the last to come out, right? So he's like walking through.
He probably like was so hyped on being like the one escorted out because they were all like, and walking. Like,
he was doing that fucking thing that like football players do before they enter the field, like
it kind of annoyed me, him being the last one, because it probably like fed his ego.
If we want to throw it back, remember when he was probably in the mirror, like practicing his punch to Jax? Like,
you feel this?
He was probably like, all right, we're gonna walk out. We're not gonna make eye contact. Let's see how my side profile looks.
I kind of wish Ariana was the last walkout.
I don't. I kind of like this because I think it gave Ariana comfort. She's sitting there. She's sitting with her people, Andy, with her side. Yeah. Okay, so as Sandoval's walking, James, you can't see him yet, but James is like, bring him out. And so Tom walks out. Ariana, so there's Ariana's side of the stage, which is, as we know, Katie, James, and then Lala. The whole side either gives him dirty looks or doesn't even look at him.
Yeah, I love when people just don't even look at him.
Sheena just looks shook. Like, I think she's just staring straight, just like fuck, because Sheena's on Tom's side.
Yeah.
It's Lisa, Tom Sandoval, Tom Schwartz, and then Sheena.
Which somebody had to be on that side, and to be honest,
it has to be Rachel.
Sheena's not the most antagonistic, so we need people screaming across at Sandoval.
Yes. So Schwartz looks like a little worried, and no one says hello because, you know, as they walk out, Andy's usually like, hi. No one says hello to him, so he just goes, hey. Like, fucking silent. So James says his heart's pounding. Ariana says he looks like shit, and Lala goes, I hate him. So
it does make me feel better that he does look like shit. Like, because I feel like this is the first like emotion or like response we like that's natural that we get, and I'm like, good, because Raquel in her stupid little trailer looks like giddy as fuck for this reunion.
Yeah, Andy said the whole reunion Sandoval was shaking, like physically could not stop his body from shaking, which like Ariana later says like must be the Adderall, but Andy said like that was the most like the weirdest thing. Like, he didn't say it was like vulnerability or scary. He just said like he just kept shaking. Like,
I think his world is literally collapsing.
I think he's like starving himself. Like, he looked like horrible. So I bet his body is like dehydrated.
You know what? To be honest, that's the best version of like him being manipulative that we've gotten. So like good on him because it worked.
Yeah. So let's start. Andy explains Raquel's in a trailer 100 yards away from Sheena.
Tackled so
hilarious,
loud because I saw
pure
this
comedy
on Instagram before I watched it, and I literally was like, I love when they pull shit like this 100 yards away from Sheena.
And there's a cameraman that just needs to watch Raquel watch the reunion on a tiny little TV.
I love that she has to just be in a trailer. She doesn't deserve to be out there the whole time.
Absolutely not. So Andy does his hellos. Lisa's glad to be here because this is needed. Ariana's feeling as good as she can be. Sandoval, this is the first time seeing the group of people. He's feeling all over the place. Schwartz, this is his first time not next to Katie. It feels strange. But like, okay, so Andy asked, like, how do you feel not being next to Katie? And Schwartz is like, oh yeah, it feels strange. And James turns to Lala and goes, didn't even cross his mind.
Like, so true. Their like talk next to each other hilarious. Is like my favorite thing ever.
James is my favorite person.
He is like literally just giving it all.
This was his reunion.
Yes.
Like, this was his because Katie's not gonna like yell at him to stop. He has the support of Ariana.
And this is the first season Lala. He actually hasn't done anything wrong. No, he has nothing to answer for.
No, he's just here to fuck shit up.
Yes. Which is amazing. James unhinged.
So Schwartz says they're working on their post-divorce relationship, but Katie's like, I don't agree with that. So whatever. Andy says, James, I guess now you're the number one guy in the group. And James says, well, it's not hard to compete when I'm working with Schwartz and a clown. And their faces, Schwartz and Sandoval, whenever they're like cut to, just look like fucking miserable.
Yes, it makes me so happy.
Yeah. Katie's happy to be here. Ocean is with Lala's mom. And then Sheena and Brock are still in the honeymoon phase. Listen, every time Andy asks Sheena, hey, how's it going? She knows how to answer. She's like, it's going really well, Andy. Brock just cut off all his hair and like we're in love.
I thought the same thing. I was like, look at her sliding Brock into this reunion.
Good.
And did you see Sandoval? He was like, oh my God, really? I'm
yeah.
Like, no,
what?
You don't get a response, sir. You're not in this friend group anymore.
You never get to see his hair in person.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Fuck you.
Okay, so we have to immediately go into the Sandoval Raquel affair drama. Okay, so Andy gives Sandoval the chance to say something to Ariana or the group. He immediately he's like, oh, thank you, Andy.
I want to say.
Someone timed it. It took 4.14 seconds for James to say, pull yourself together. Like to just interrupt.
That's too long, to be honest.
James immediately is like, oh my God, you're a fucking baby. Ariana starts yelling at him like, you're not the fucking victim.
And he's like, I know I'm not.
Yeah. James starts making fun of his crime going,
it was so bad.
So they tell James to shut the fuck up. Sandoval says he appreciates everyone.
Wait, really quickly. Yeah. He gets really quickly somehow composed and now can speak correctly for being so upset. Then when he tries again after being yelled at for being a baby, he's like, oh, back to normal, boys.
I love James, just immediate. Okay, Sandoval says he appreciates everyone being there for Ariana, and Ariana didn't deserve to have this happen. And Ariana says nothing happened. You did this.
Oh, incredible. Because she's right. Also, she's right. I just realized they had not seen the new finale because it was still being edited. So they didn't even see his terrible acting and be ready to call him out for that shit. They just did it anyways.
When I tell you, so I was at a friend's watching this live, but we watched the finale that was on before. And when I tell you that I also macted his Lisa moment, everyone said it was basically the same. And I literally was sobbing.
Good
and then
job.
I turned around and I was like, could you tell? And everyone's like, no, it was amazing. And I was like, I'm basically him. So it's not that hard if anyone wants to try it.
I love.
Okay, so Sandoval says he's sorry for doing the one thing he said he wouldn't and in the worst way possible. And I was like,
what?
Cheat? Like what?
I was like, you only promised this one thing and you couldn't even uphold it?
Yeah, and so our two icons, James turns to Lala and goes, didn't hit for me. And Lala goes, I didn't even listen. Like they don't give a
fuck.
I
saw a TikTok video today that when Jax like cheated on Brittany with I think Faith, they
rotten hell.
Love. Sandoval was like, how dare he?
Yeah.
And with a friend, I would never. He needs to grow up. And it was
he
like
had a full like exorcism of anger.
And the thing was like another like VPR clip that didn't age well.
Yeah, just didn't age. Okay, so Andy asks Ariana about the combos between like them, Ariana and Tom, and she says that he has victim blamed her 100% of the time, and she thinks that this was full of shit. And so they're still living in the house together. It's been not great. They have people to help them avoid each other. And I guess this was one of the new revelations we learned. At the beginning, he refused to tell the people when he was coming and going, which like re-traumatized Ariana.
Horrible.
And then he yelled at everyone there to support her, which Kristen Doty also said that he would like yell at them when he would come home. But finally he started letting his assistant know when he'll be there. So now they can finally avoid each other. I don't know why he wouldn't want to avoid, like, what?
Because he's so self-centered. He doesn't want to lose her. He wants to have his cake and eat it too.
His plan was to supposedly break up with her. It makes
he
no
wasn't
sense.
going to. I think he wanted to have his cake and eat it too. He wanted the comfort of his long-term relationship with the sex of his new fling.
It makes zero. His story makes zero
and
sense.
It's like an ego thing. Like, can he win her back? It's like, it's the game of it.
It's all nuts to me.
Did you also, if you watched the finale right before it, did you see that extended clip thing of at Raquel's house? He was like, look at all the cars, like, and I was never allowed to have people over, like, not even for my birthday.
I wasn't allowed to throw parties. She yelled at me, and I was like, "You guys threw a
she
ton
can have
of
all
parties.
These people over, and I couldn't even have parties. This isn't a party." Also,
you guys literally threw a party in this season. Raquel called Lala bimbo mistress bitch. Like, we were all there.
So true.
Also, yeah, this isn't a fucking party. This is like
this trauma. Is a funeral of your relationship.
Horrible. Yeah, we're going through shit. If he really loved and cared about her, like he says, he would have been happy that she had many of people surrounding her. But he doesn't love or care about her. Like,
no, it always is how it affects him or what it did to him, or it always circles to him.
Okay, are you ready to go into some screaming? Okay, so Andy asked Lala if it's healthy for them to share a home because, like, she got out of her house with Randall super fast. And Lala says, of course it's not fucking healthy because Sandoval is Randall. Just give it 10 years. And Lala says it's the same. Like, she couldn't get Randall to stay home when they were in a relationship. But after everything, she couldn't get him to fucking leave the house. And she calls Sandoval a dangerous person. And then Lisa says, that's ridiculous to call Sandoval dangerous. And Lala said, I didn't ask for anyone's opinion. And Lisa said, well, you got my opinion. And Lala said, that's great. I reject it.
I died.
Amazing. And then Lala goes in like, if he could do this to his life partner, like, something's wrong with that person. It doesn't matter if like so many people have done it. Like, all those people are fucking dangerous people. How about that?
100%. You can, it's not like you just had a one night stand and like you're so upset and you're like holding on to this and like grieving, whatever.
You were fucking her while your partner was asleep in the other room. You pulled a fucking Kristen, man. You did it.
Yes.
You did it.
Yes. I didn't even think about that.
You didn't just do it twice and it meant nothing because you didn't kiss. You were saying, I love you. You were having an affair. Yes. You were doing this blatantly behind your partner's back constantly.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking different. It's dangerous. You were gonna like fertilize this woman's
and there are so many pieces to it. Like, it's in their own home. It's with her friend. You brought her to St. Louis. Like, yes, all these things.
Kristen and Jax didn't even kiss. Like, this is so different. This is a different level of like. Can you
imagine years ago when the Kristen and Jax thing happened? When we would have the day today to say that was not even as bad.
That's amazing to be like, that's not even the worst cheating that's happened on this
show.
Get
ready, buckle up, everybody.
Okay, so so Sandoval's like, Lala, if you're gonna sit here and judge my character, and Lala's like, yeah, I'm gonna sit here and judge your fucking character.
I'm gonna judge your
Shut
character.
The fuck up.
What else do you want me to judge? You're like, height? Like, what?
Like, this is all on your character. A good person with good character would have done this shitty ass thing. How about fucking that?
It tells me that you don't have good character because you're saying that statement.
Oh my God. So then Lisa tells Lala to calm down, and Lala says, no, I'm not going to calm down. We showed up and we're ready to go.
This is like
Step up.
I already
Lisa.
was annoyed with Lisa from that finale, but now I'm fucking pissed because it's not like she's just saying like let him talk or like she's like letting him have space to speak. She's defending him.
And I love how Lala's like, no, I'm not gonna back down on you.
Somebody, I don't know where I saw it, but somebody was like, this is the moment where Lisa's realizing these are not kids anymore. She cannot just like tell them to stop talking and they won't listen.
I saw a tweet too where it was like the Vanderpump cast now knows how Beverly Hills cast felt with Lisa Vanderpump. And I was like, ooh, do I need to rewatch Beverly Hills now and like hate Lisa
in a new light? No. Oh shit.
Okay, so Andy brings up the lack of quality time and asks Ariana, like, did that cause a divide in the relationship? She says, no, he did by fucking other people. And Lisa again is like, Raquel is very different than other people, which that's worse Lisa. To me, right? Lisa, she's not even making sense when she defines.
I know. It's like she does not take the time to actually understand the nuances of this situation.
Right,
Ariana. And so she's just throwing out support for Sandoval blindly, which is Ariana dangerous says, to do.
Right? She says, like, he was fucking other people. And Lisa's like, Raquel's different than other people. I would have been like, yeah, that's worse, right? Am I nuts? Am I like not?
No.
But then Ariana also is like, he was fucking other people than Raquel. Like, yes. And then she says, it's that fucking fuckers who is at fault. And then Andy asks Sandoval, what was the demise of your relationship? And he goes, well, over time, our communication and our connection just dissipated. And then Andy's like, hey, Ariana, do you know about this over the 9 years you were dating? And she's like, yeah, over 9 years, we've had a few conversations about this.
Yeah.
He never broke up with her. So
that is normal. I feel like I've never been in a 9-year relationship. Anybody who has been in a, let's even say 5+ years, chime in if you haven't been disconnected once. Like, come on.
Jesus, hell. You're probably one of those couples I fucking hate then.
No, you're fucking fake as fuck.
Yeah. So then Andy brings up the conversations we saw, right, with Ariana and Tom, like discussing their relationship. Mm-hmm. And Ariana's like, yeah, we had those conversations, but he was already fucking other people. So
oh, the one about like whenever they were sitting in the couch
Love Island.
Before, yes.
Why is it Logan gets all the Love Island time? But I hate Love Island. But can we hang out and do stuff? I want to do like skinny dip and take mushrooms. And I mean, also Ariana said on Call Her Daddy,
I was about to say
go hang gliding.
She went hang gliding, and after they went to therapy, like she started going out with him. Like she put in more effort into the relationship, into things he wanted to do.
If my therapist was like, to make your partner happy, you should go out more, I'd be like, we're 40. We've done that. Well, he should suck a dick.
I think she should meet him at things he wants to do, and he should meet her at things like she wants to do. It's compromising. And so I think it's really big of her that she put in the effort to do things he wanted to do. Now, the question is, did he try to do anything she wanted? No, probably not.
He doesn't have time to watch 50 episodes of Love Island, Meredith.
Well, I can find the time. If I can find the time, you can find the time, sir.
So we see like, Tom, or we relive Tom saying, his presence is annoying to Ariana and all these things and blah, blah, blah. And Ariana's like, yeah, I did hear all these things because the night before they had that conversation on TV, he screamed at her for 45 minutes off camera about this shit.
Terrible.
This man is unhinged.
And she was still so committed to him.
She's still, the next day they have this conversation and she's like, yeah, we can spend quality time together. If someone yelled at me for 45 minutes, you can bet your ass I'm never going to spend quality time with them. What?
I would lay in my bed and watch 50 episodes of Love Island.
And I'd be like, you can either do exactly what I want to do or you can suck a giant ass dick. Okay, so then Andy brings up Sandoval saying they were glorified roommates. And Ariana said that's not actually true because they were intimate. And like also having intimacy issues does not excuse a fucking thing. And also, she says going through this relationship piece by piece is pointless. And James agrees that it is pointless. And then Schwartz says it's not pointless. And Schwartz is like, we can all agree that there's zero justification, but we're at a reunion. This is like our therapy session. And Ariana's like, it's not therapy. And Andy says he's just trying to like get into it, you know, nitty gritty.
Which I understand the balance of Andy being like, well, we kind of need to talk about like, did you guys have issues or not? But going piece by piece through the issues, she's right. Like, what's the point? Yeah, it wasn't the main discussion of the season.
No.
So why are we talking about their issues?
Yeah. It was just like that second to last episode.
And on Call Her Daddy, Ariana was like, they were very active in January. Like,
yeah. They were, they celebrated their like 9-year anniversary, went out, had sex. So they were intimate. And she said on Valentine's Day, right? Like they went out. He claimed he tried to break up with her on Valentine's Day, but she says he brought her flowers and they went out and they had like a great time.
Drunk conversation when they got home, but it wasn't like we're done.
No, it was like we need to spend more time together.
We need to decide if we're gonna break up.
Yeah. But like nothing came of it.
You know what I also heard at the end of this reunion? Sandoval takes Raquel to the restaurant that was Ariana and Sandoval's anniversary spot.
Why is Raquel okay with? I will never understand. I feel so livid.
Jax Taylor said that on a podcast.
This woman first of all, Sandoval's just scum.
It shows you how little like women will accept. Like I'm one of those girlies, so no shame in the game. But like we all can do better collectively.
Oh my God, I like want to scream at this woman. Okay,
I know.
Did the rest of the group sense any significant issues in Ariana and Tom's relationship? Schwartz did. He just nods.
Because he got the real story.
Yeah. Sheena didn't until more recently in January when Lala brought it up to her. And Sheena did sit down with Ariana, but Ariana said everything was great and they were very intimate in January.
Which like makes sense. They were having like a really good bond.
Then it cuts to Rachel in her fucking trailer like, oh, they were intimate in January. And someone tweeted like, can you believe that my quote unquote boyfriend that like I'm his mistress, he's having sex with his girlfriend?
I bet she really didn't know that stuff though.
Because he's probably like, we haven't had sex in 4 years. Since we bought the house, honestly.
When we bought the house as a band-aid.
We've never even had sex in the house. It's wild.
Oh man.
Yep, they had sex. So then Andy asked Sandoval about why he didn't come clean to Ariana. So this question is asked 3 times. This is the first time.
Oh.
So James is like, oh, and your friends, remember me? And Sandoval's like, yeah, you're James motherfucking Kennedy. And James is like, okay, what does that even mean to you? And then Lisa's like, Ariana's more important. And Ariana's the one that's like, no, James and Tom were like brothers. And Sandoval's like, brothers? Oh my God. I can't believe you just said that.
It's so pathetic, him trying to minimize any relationship that somebody deems important. Like he did the same thing to Sheena.
So yeah, James is so hurt by this. And literally all I thought about was like, this is the same MO he pulled with Sheena. And someone on TikTok was like, you know, James just wanted to be accepted in this group and like have friendship.
And Sandoval did have his back a lot of the time.
So this hurts. Like the way it hurt Sheena is the same way it's gonna hurt James.
This is what really tells me he's fucking insane because
like, this is the same shit. Like if he said that to Katie would be like, great. So he wouldn't say that to Katie because he would find a different way to hurt her by like, I don't know, minimizing her friendship with Schwartz or something wild. Like he knows each of their weak
But this
spots.
tells you how much, you know how like Lala in the like comment about Randall said like he's dangerous. This is what like we really got to hone in on because listen, I get breakups. They're sensitive. Maybe he's trying to protect his heart or like something dumb. We can make excuses for like why people act irrationally in like breakups, but you are personally hurting your friends and your friendships in this too. Like you are going out of your way to hurt them too.
And it's like ridiculous too to be like, oh, Sheena and I have been friends for 14 years, but we really weren't even friends. And like for 14 years.
And Sandoval basically does like something similar with James. He's like, you called me your brother. I would never say that.
So yeah, let's get into them.
Sir.
Yeah. So James says you were like a big brother to me. And then that's when Sandoval's like, yeah, you called me that. And James is so fucking mad. So James calls Sandoval an opportunist. Like, you only need me when you need me.
Mhm.
And Sandoval's like, you're the one who fucked Kristen to get on the show with my condoms. James is up now.
Which is
James,
like, that's 7 years ago, 8 years ago.
Makes zero sense. But James is up. He's ready to fight. So Andy gets up and he like pushes James away, and this is where he drops his cards. Hilarious. And twice he goes, my card. And so a producer goes over and has to like sit James down. And Sandoval's like offended that James is mad because Sandoval stuck up for James. And this is where I'm like, you guys were friends. You guys were right?
How can Sandoval be mad that he stuck up for James, but say that they were nothing at the same time? Like, the mouth ain't nothing.
This man cannot get his story straight.
No, because in the moments where things get heated, he says real things. Like, he's honest because the mask is slipping. You'll like notice throughout the reunions that like when things get heated and there's a lot more arguing, he doesn't have the script playing in his mind. So he says more honest
We get off script. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So James says, James is so mad. He like stands up and he goes, your band sucks dick. You're a loser and your bar's going down the drain. Backstabbing hoe.
Love.
And Sandoval then goes, as he's like sitting there, not even looking at James, he goes, get my face again and I'll fuck you up. And James is like, I'm up, baby. I'm up. Let's go. Like, let's show up. James is up. And then Andy again has to push James as James is like ripping off his blazer, saying how he's so ripped. Look at me, bro.
Oh my God. I would pay James Kennedy's legal fees to hit Sandoval.
It was so funny when he rips off his blazer because he's so tiny, but like, he's so mad. I think he would just destroy fucking Sandoval. Oh my God. And I love how Sandoval's sitting there like, get my face again, I'll fuck you up. And James is like, I'm in your face again.
Sandoval,
do it.
I do fucking think James, if there was a little fight between the two of you, I do think James would fuck you up.
Yeah, James is squaring up, right? You challenge him. He's
and here. He actually is like pretty fit. Like, Sandoval's a little old man now. Like, come on.
You're being a little bitch and sitting there just talking when it's like when we need. Okay, so this is where Ariana is like, oh my God, Tom, you're shaking. Must be from all the Adderall. And so then Andy sit James down like a toddler and be like, stay in the fucking chair. And James goes, he started it, Andy. And then
Andy's probably like, this is gonna be the longest fucking day of my life.
James is literally having a tantrum, and Andy's like, can you please just sit down? And then James is like, I have to pee. So he gets up but walks the opposite way. But
obsessed.
As he's leaving, he goes, pussy bitch. And then he turns around and goes, you're a worm with a mustache. And this is where Ariana and Katie and Lisa and Andy all start laughing. Like, they lost it. They all lost it. And so then Lala's like, listen, Tom, you done fucked up. Stop bringing up the past. Stop bringing up Kristen. That has nothing to do with this situation.
Yes.
Stop blaming other people for what you did. We're in the present and you fucked up. And then Katie's like,
I think it's fine to bring up the Kristen situation when you're mirroring the similarities, but to bring it up as like a diss to James, so like useless.
James did fuck Kristen to get on the show, and it's the best thing that's ever happened to us.
And like the way Sandoval tries to like pick the like other side apart with little things, it's like, and
you probably also fucked Kristen to get on the show because she was better TV than you.
Amen.
Like, I mean, Jesus.
Listen, I don't fault James for it. He's giving us shit, so I'm happy he did it.
He's the best thing to happen to this show. Like, thank God for Kristen and James, truthfully.
Honestly.
Jesus Christ. If not for Kristen, Sandoval would have been Sandoval's friend, and that just wouldn't have been as fun for James.
No, no, it would not have been the same.
Never. So back to why Sandoval didn't come clean. This is Andy re-asked the question just as James is walking out, and the producer goes, use your words, not your fists.
So
and
good.
So Rachel's in her trailer and she's like, oh my God, I really want Tom to answer this question.
Which I'm like, girly, like, you should, this does mean something, but she doesn't. Like, this is her saying little comments in that trailer. I'm like, I can tell that he is he's feeding you a whole web of lies too.
Yeah,
like
100%.
he was obviously leading you on, saying like it was gonna happen, and it never happened.
So James comes out, and he's like, "Can you just sit in your chair?" And he goes, "Fine, I'll be nice to Tweedledee and Tweedle Dick." And he's like, "Great, just sit down.
Just sit down."
And then Lisa said, or wait, Andy goes, "Sit down." And James goes, "Okay, ugly fuck." And Andy goes, "Did you just call me an ugly fuck?" And James goes, "No, you're handsome. Sandoval's an ugly fucking clown, fuckhead." And then Andy's like, "Thank you so
Andy
much."
getting offended, I'm obsessed with. He's like, "Me?
An ugly fuck.
Not me."
And then James or Lisa says, "If you do it again, you're going to go to your dressing room." And James goes, "Oh, I'm going to be sent to timeout."
Oh.
Leaving Lala, Katie, and Ariana fucking lose
They
it.
lose it.
Everyone is dying.
I think they like need James's comedic relief too, to like take some pressure off of like their side of things. Because to be honest, like if I were on Ariana, she was like, I would burst in tears at some point. But James is making this so funny.
James
like,
is taking the heat. Because if Tom ever steps up to Ariana, James is going to step in the way he did, which we'll get to. He did it with Katie. He did it a lot. Like he will do it, which I think helps the girls know there's like a safe space. And like these horrible men, at least like the least horrible is James, who's on our side.
Well, especially with Schwartz, he will only argue with men. So like the minute James gets involved, like Schwartz doesn't do a lot.
Yeah. He only loves arguing with women. Like he loves fucking with women. That's his whole MO. Okay, yeah. So James looks at Lisa. "I'm gonna get the timeout. I'm gonna get a spanking." Which I love that he turned to Lisa. He's like, "You're not gonna put me in the trailer. I'm the best.
Yes.
Like I'm the best fucking thing to happen to this.
You don't have the authority to put me in the trailer, ma'am. Like these producers don't want me in the trailer."
James is the best thing to happen to this reunion. The producers are like, "We have to keep him in his chair.
Keep him.
They're
yes,
like,
that's the only thing.
Chair.
Please don't fight. Like you're ruining the discussion." But
so the question, Andy's like, "I'm gonna ask the question. Can we all not speak?"
And I was like, to be honest, I want this question asked too.
Yeah. So why didn't you come clean? Sandoval says he was scared and Ariana was going through a lot and he didn't want to add on anything. And Andy's like, "Okay, when would you have told her?"
Well, hold on. Again, he doesn't answer like really why he didn't do it. He just makes it Ariana's problem. Like, "Oh, because of Ariana, I couldn't be honest."
If Ariana didn't have like a dead grandparent and a dead dog, I would have fucking told her. But this bitch,
like, she had to have a whole life crisis going on.
People die,
and so like I couldn't tell her about my affair.
She just had to be fucking sad that I couldn't tell her that I've been fucking her best friend.
Like, what?
I'm the victim.
I wish so badly he could like take ownership for his responsibility and be like, I was being a bitch.
Would be like, "That wasn't my question. I asked you like a why. You're really skating around."
Yeah.
So then Sandoval's like, "Yeah, when would you have told her?" And Sandoval's like, "Actually, I went to therapy and we planned on the Tuesday after we were done filming because then she wouldn't have to deal with the breakup and go interview because I'm a caring person who fucking cares about her feelings."
I don't want to have her go and interview and have to talk about something about her and then like lie that I cheated on her all season.
What? I've said it before and I'll say it again. The most dangerous kind of guys are the ones that say, "I'm not a nice guy," and they're fucking not. They're not. If you claim to be a nice guy, you're not a fucking nice guy. If you're one of those, it's like, I don't understand why everyone's mad at me.
You're right.
I'm a nice guy.
Words aren't nice guys. Actions like show it.
You're fucking danger, dude.
When is this like Tuesday after like the recording, do you think? Because in my mind, I always
like assume... a day before the reunion. Like a day before the reunion. They do interviews after they're done filming, right?
I know, but I don't think it would have been 9 months of interviews or 6 months of interviews.
He still says like, "Oh, we had a whole plan." So it was after March 3rd of some point.
I don't know. I wonder if that got like, if people just didn't say anything, but I feel like people would have commented back and been like, interviews ended in February.
Yeah. If he still is saying like, we actually had this plan in my mind, they're still doing interviews as of like March 3rd then, right? Because it still hadn't.
But I feel like it would have been easier for them to pick up cameras. Like Ariana said in Call Her Daddy, they had to borrow the film crew from Beverly Hills. So like
yes, I'm not saying he's right. I'm saying he's painting it as,
yes, no, I
didn't
agree.
even get the chance. If March 3rd had just not happened, like I would have told her on that Tuesday. Like that is how he's painting this.
Yeah.
Again, this man
Like
has
he's
no
the good
sense of
guy for
time.
like having a plan, but
I
it's
am
like,
a
no,
good
you're the
guy.
good guy for A, not doing this, and B, telling her very quickly after it
Also, your
happened.
plan's not real. It's like
No,
not real.
no. I want
So
to know who his like publicist is because like I feel like they're not prepping
you
him
should get
well.
rid of him. His assistant should truly quit.
Oh, I feel so bad for
So
her. Can you imagine putting that on your resume?
I mean, that's a good, I was
They're like, why do you
Sandoval's.
have a 6 year gap? And it's like, well, I just don't want to tell you who I worked
No, if
for
you're like,
prior.
I was Sandoval's assistant during a scandal, everyone's probably like, you could handle anyone.
I guess that's true.
So Schwartz get asked what he knew about the hookup. I don't even want to talk about what he said. He goes down some fucking rabbit hole about, there was a sad night in July when Sandoval confided in him, and then guys'
Oh
night
my
when he
God.
confided in Raquel and how he's feeling. And Ariana goes, when Charlotte's body wasn't even cold. And Schwartz is like, yeah, I didn't actually know about that. So, and I was like, the fact that Sandoval didn't even mention it to him, but also
that's true. Like that's so shitty.
like, this was your dog too?
You had no idea what was going on in your friend Ariana's life, but like I do appreciate Schwartz like just being like, all right, here are the details. Like,
but Katie's like, just get to the fucking point. He asked you a question. So Schwartz says late August, Sandoval broke it down after the wedding,
and the pure fear in Sandoval's face when he's like,
late
August?
Late August, me. And I appreciate Schwartz being like, yeah, dude. Like he's like, I think Schwartz is text messages
ready to start being honest about some of it. Like I don't think he's gonna really put
Sandoval
on blast.
He's only gonna be honest about like certain things that help his cred. Also,
I think he's tired of being looked at as like the liar. And so he's like, I'll be honest about some things.
Here's the thing. He's a bad liar. So I don't think he can outright lie, right? He can not say something and he'll just drop little hints until you like pick up on it. But he can't actually tell a lie. So he's going to be like, yeah, I have text messages. So like, you're lying, not me kind of moment.
Yeah.
So late August. And Lala's like, oh no, did you not get your timelines figured out?
Dead.
Because Sandoval told Andy in the one-on-one interview, Schwartz knew in January.
So bad.
Wild. So Ariana's like, oh, I knew you coached the rap, but you didn't coach this guy? Oh,
I think Sandoval didn't quote unquote coach Schwartz because they'd already come up with a storyline for like the past few months of life. And he thought Schwartz would just stick with it.
Schwartz cannot lie. He can be silent, but he can't actually say a lie.
I know. I think if he's not asked a question, he'll be like, he'll lie out of omission by just not telling you things. That's if it's not brought up.
That's why his marriage didn't work. When Katie was like, do I look good in distress? He would be like, no, you look fugly. Like he just can't fucking lie.
And when he does, like you can tell and people know his ticks now.
Yeah, he's a fucking loser. I don't know why you would bring him in on anything. Anyway, so Sandoval's life does flash before his eyes. And then so in Mexico, Schwartz says he did not know, but in that food truck scene and at glamping, he did know, which he's like a horrible secret keeper because he did that whole like, I think Raquel likes someone else. And then he did that whole Raquel's into taken men. Like he just fucking sucks.
So bad.
And then he says, look, you guys, I'm not an idiot. And then Lisa's whole face is like, well, I don't.
You are for like defending this moron.
But Schwartz says we can all agree they spent inappropriate amount of time together.
I'm like, that's what we're gonna admit to.
No, here's the other thing. They could hang out 24/7 if they wanted to. If he's not fucking her, great. Like there's a fucking difference, sir. He was giving it to her. Jesus. So then Andy's like, hey, Sandoval, why have Schwartz like hang out and like why push Schwartz to hook up with Raquel if you're fucking her? And Sandoval's like, it wasn't to hide the affair. No. Because we only had a one-night stand and then we didn't do it ever again. And he's like, also, it's not wrong to have like push your friend to hook up with someone that you secretly like fucked. Like
it's I don't know if it's grosser that like Schwartz didn't know or not.
I think it's grosser if he knew. There's something, listen, Schwartz is terrible, and I absolutely fucking hate him to my core. But there's something somewhat redeeming from going from like absolute fucking trash, I want to kill, to like just trash. For him being like, once he found out about the hookup,
he was like,
I'm not
doing
interested
this.
in Raquel.
I don't think he would have kissed Raquel if he had known.
I don't think so either.
I think it does weird him out a little.
It's sad that he knew Katie's boundaries, but this was his like his big ex. But yeah, so Katie says she thinks it's a good excuse for Sandoval and Rachel to hide whatever they were doing. Andy asked Lala about the similarities between the Rachel Ariana and then the Kristen Ariana situations. And Lala said they're just like really similar. And Lisa said, but you didn't know them then. And Lala goes, it's on a TV show. Like I watched it.
Oh my God. And Sandoval being like, exactly, you didn't know me. Sir, I can only imagine what we didn't see. The shit we saw on TV is bad enough.
Minuscule. Also, if you're on a TV show, we're all going to judge you. I don't know why Lisa's like offended by fucking that.
Yeah.
So Ariana just goes, well, I was there and I see parallels. So
what's your excuse now?
Basically, Ariana says, you know, Tom kept saying like Ariana was so cool and no responsibilities, and she stayed up late and bartended and was a great friend and chill. And then, you know, when Ariana would ask the question of like, why not break up after like Jackson Kristen fucked, Tom was like, oh, well, Kristen's grandpa just died and we had tickets to this and that. So we couldn't.
Bad.
And Bravo literally gives us two comparisons that look exactly the same.
Yes.
Except like Tom Sandoval looks way worse with a mustache. Besides that, like it was the same fucking lines.
It's so gross. So like if he doesn't even if he doesn't like consciously realize this, I really need Sandoval and hope he like does some therapy and after being confronted with this stuff.
Well, his therapist was trying to help him break up with Ariana, which the thing is he probably
imagine being his therapist sitting and watching this and being like, oh no, what did I do? He probably
has lied to his therapist.
Listen, I lie to my therapist, so like I get it. You're trying to be the like hero in your own story. But dude,
he's not even like, I could have done this better. He's like, I'm the victim.
Yes.
Like I would imagine, because I do in therapy, I'll be like, look, I felt really sad in this situation and I know I'm not right, but I'm like, I want to be right. You know, like I'll say
self-aware. Like I've been in therapy for like 15 years. And I would say the first 10 years, I was like, very like, I'm the victim. Everybody's doing things to me. Like, and I would never put like where my responsibility was in situations. And so like, you have to be self-aware to actually get help in therapy. Like you have, not everything's your fault, but you have to realize like where you could have had better boundaries, could have like done things different on your side. Cause you can only change you. He's trying to change other people. Yeah, and that's not how therapy works.
No, he doesn't have self-awareness. So Andy says Sandoval claims he cheated because things were really bad in the relationship, but Miami Girl was really early in the relationship. So why'd he cheat then? So vengeance for Miami Girl and Kristen Doty. Sandoval says,
Miami Girl, I hope you're doing okay out there.
Anne Marie, we love you so much. We're so sorry we shat on you in season 3. You deserve better.
Get that girlie on TikTok. I need her to go viral.
Okay, so Sandoval says he hadn't felt single for a while, so he just like wanted to do that. And Ariana says she did know about Miami Girl, but she forgave Tom because they weren't serious or exclusive at the time. And she saw the rest of her life with this man and wanted everyone else to see the best in him because that's what she saw at the time.
His excuse for doing that is that he didn't get a moment to be single. That's why you don't back up your relationship.
Don't jump.
Yeah, you don't meld them together. You break up with someone, you go fuck around a little bit, and you say, "Hey, Ariana, I think you're really cool. I can't be in a relationship right now. And maybe you have something later."
Here's the other thing is, right? It's like, Sandoval, why'd you cheat on Ariana so early? He's like, I just want to have fun and be single. And then Ariana's like, whole explanation of why she didn't say anything was so vulnerable, right? She's like, I just wanted like
so sweet.
I was gonna spend the rest of my life with this man. I wanted everyone to like root for us instead of being like he cheated. You know, like it was like this whole thing.
Because like then with this group, everybody would have brought it up every single year.
Yes, and Ariana knew that.
Yeah.
So then Sandoval is like, also Kristen was on a rampage, and immediately everyone's like, fuck you, absolutely not. don't point it at Kristen. You're like, you're the fucking same.
And I'm
then
big on like, she's not here to defend herself. Like
No.
we've already hashed this
also,
out.
the fact that even James was like, fuck you, is like wild to me.
Like this isn't bash on Kristen moment.
It's not. Oh, also, like Ariana just said this really sweet thing, but Kristen was on such a fucking rampage. It was her fault about Miami girl. No, you fucked her.
Shows his willingness to just blame everyone else. Like we're talking about how Miami girl, like he cheated on Ariana when they not really cheated, I guess, if they weren't exclusive, whatever they wanted to define it as, but like he had a relation outside of it. And it's like, because Kristen was crazy is your excuse? What? How is Kristen, when you were broken up with Kristen, the reason you slept with Miami girl? How is this now Kristen's fault?
None of it. And then even Lala's like, oh, I get it. When you're not serious, don't fuck the best friend. But when you are serious, that's when you can fuck the best friend. Got it. So then this affair has made us gloss over the other breakups we've had. Lala and Randall, James and Rachel, and then Katie and Schwartz. So let's start with Katie and Schwartz. After 12 years, why was this the end for Katie? Katie said she realized she wasn't happy sorry, I burped. Schwartz prioritized everyone else. And then Schwartz really quick butts in and he goes, I did that out of necessity at the moment. Sorry, I'll let you finish. I was like, he knows not to butt in. He immediately was like, sorry.
Even your like excuse, I'm like, what? You're out of necessity.
I appreciate Katie just being like, no. You made, like, you picked your choice, and so I
Girlie has done lots of work on herself to not get so fired up at his stupid little comments.
He does not trigger her anymore.
I'm so
proud of her. I'm so proud of her. So was it surprising for Schwartz? And Schwartz says he wasn't surprised because the intimacy was dwindling. And if we know anything in this group, if you're not getting fucked, you're not in love anymore. But it was a bad time because his father and brother were like suffering with cancer and he had no money, but like he understands that Katie couldn't stay with him out of pity. And I was like, okay, so it was a bad time, but you're happy Katie broke up with you. So we can look at Sandoval and be like, oh, even if there was death, maybe you should have done the thing.
I was about to say, wow, shouldn't Schwartz be so happy that Katie didn't fuck his best friend? Like, because I feel like when you're going through the worst of it is when you really are a target for being fucked over. She should have
stayed married to him and then like fuck Jax or something.
Like I really think that would have meant the most to him.
Fuck, Schwartz would have really appreciated that actually.
And told everybody in the group about it, but like we had a plan to tell him.
Yeah. He was kept in the dark, obviously, forever. Yeah, we love that. Okay, so Andy's like, okay, Lisa, how do you feel? Because you were always like very supportive of this relationship. And Lisa was sad when she heard the news, but she hoped better for them, but she understands. And then they were like, Andy's like, was anyone hopeful they could work it out? And Sheena says she was always hopeful because when you get married, like you really hope it works out. But Sheena talked to Katie right after like Katie had decided to file. And Sheena felt that Katie had like a weight lifted off her shoulders, and like Sheena's happy about that because Katie deserves better. And then
such Schwartz, a sweet comment.
Schwartz turns and he goes, better than this, and Sheena just nods. Like
she goes, like
so blank face. She's like, yes. Like it was so funny.
Lost
he's trying
it
to make
that.
A full joke, and she's like, no.
He's like, joking. No, honestly, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, fuck you. Okay, Ariana said she found out and she was shocked, but she knows like when you're telling your friends, you're at a point where it's really real.
Oh, that's so true.
So Katie and Schwartz had this agreement to not hook up in the friend group. Wow, I could kill Schwartz after this. So Katie says this was important because she wanted to stay friends with Schwartz, and this was her comfortability level. She needed Schwartz to abide by that.
Yeah.
And he said,
and let's remember they agreed on it.
Yes, he agreed. Then Schwartz was like, it was a really reasonable agreement, but if roles were reversed, I wouldn't have cared.
No, are you joking me? And sir, like, you just got upset that Sheena said like Katie could do better.
Also, literally no one asked what you thought. Katie said, these are my boundaries. And you said, okay, you didn't think like Oh, my boundaries are different. So I don't agree. You could have said I don't agree to your boundaries and then you wouldn't be friends. But like,
But also, like,
don't be
his
shocked.
boundaries can be different from hers. Like, he can be okay if she hooks up with someone in the friend group, which there's not even people in the friend group for it to work out. But
Peter got dragged into this for an
oh,
example. Poor Peter.
But like, your boundaries don't have to align perfectly. So Katie putting her boundary out there doesn't mean that she can't do the same and you'd be, or like whatever. It's not like mutual.
Yes. Also, if Katie then wants to not be friends, you can still try and be friends with Katie. Like, your boundaries are different, so your outcomes are different. Like, it made no sense, because then Schwartz is like, I just don't
it made a lot of sense. He's the victim.
I just don't get it. And Katie's like, well, you won't really have an opinion because you cheated on me in our relationship. So yeah, those were my boundaries. And then Katie tells Schwartz, like, you're not the victim. And Schwartz says there's a double standard. And I was literally
I was like, what? Who did she hook up with in the friend group?
That's what I'm saying. There's no that's not what a double standard is.
Exactly. He's just trying to excuse his behavior. He's doing a Sandoval, pulling anything out of thin air to excuse his behavior and make him the victim, excuse any of his actions.
Yeah. So then they're like, hey, Sandoval, what do you think of this rule? And everyone's like, oh my God. The man who fucked this girl in a relationship, we already know what he thinks.
Yeah. Your character, your opinion, null and void.
So then Schwartz says, I'm sorry, but the kiss was liberating. Like, don't butt. Your apology means zero fold after that.
Especially when it's like so in her face. Oh, it was so liberating to go against what you wanted.
Really liberating. And then Lala's like, how sick are you that like you're feeling that way? And she's like fucking Sandoval the whole time.
Gross.
And then Sandoval's like, oh, it was one time. It wasn't the whole time. And everyone's like, it doesn't fucking matter. And so Sandoval's arguing about how the logistics and the timing does matter. And finally, Lisa's like, it actually doesn't matter because it changed the relationship.
Yeah.
Like, it all changed. And now your best friend's fucking kissing her. Like, it's all weird.
Gross.
And so
I'm
then
glad, Lisa has some like things that she finds weird.
So Lala like turns to James and is like, it totally happened more than that, like one time. And James is like, I know, he just lied. And Lala's like, he's a liar. Like, all they do
we already know. Yeah, we already know he's a liar.
So Ariana says like, oh, what about that one night stand? Or like, you were trying to plant the seeds at Coachella. And then we get this unseen footage, which I don't know why they cut this out. This is very important.
I'm pissed. Even though like, I want to go back and watch all the like extra footage episodes from this season, because I've heard there's some really good nuggets in all of them.
Yeah, why are they cutting this out? So the unseen footage is Sheena at Ariana's apartment after like the cheating scandal broke, and she said in April, Rachel told the mutual friend that at Coachella, when Ariana was asleep, Sandoval and Rachel were in the hot tub, and he said to him like, oh, you know, me and Ariana have an open relationship, right? And then he came on to her, and Sheena repeats that at the reunion, and like everyone's like, no, that didn't happen. Sandoval's like, never. And everyone's like, then why would Rachel say that to this random mutual friend?
And Sandoval goes, she didn't say that to the friend. And they go, well, how would you know?
Yeah, how would you know? You coach her?
And hey, when she comes out here, ask her what she said.
Yeah. Sheena's like, if you could ask her, because I can't, because I have to be 100 feet away.
True.
So then Andy's like, well, okay, this is technically
which like that was a moment where I want Raquel's reaction. Like, pan to Raquel. What the hell? If she thinking like, oh, can you imagine if she's like, oh shit.
She would roll her eyes. That's all she did this whole reunion is.
I want to do what Sheena did in it.
So Andy says this is a group of cheaters. So like, why is this the hill to die on? You know, the only people that haven't been in like a cheating scandal are Katie and Lisa. Which
Lisa kind of chuckled, and I was like, girly, what are you not telling us?
Also, fuck you. Vanderpump Rules was literally born out of a cheating scandal, okay? If not for 100%. Sheena.
Okay, but also, like, a lot of this cheating happened, like, years ago, and I feel like we constantly are pulling from, you know, seasons 2 through 6, and we're at season 10 here.
Also, I think there's a different level on, like, Sheena and Ariana than like Schwartz and James and Lala, because they were the other woman, and they were being fed lies from these men.
Yes, the way Andy is like, even you, Ariana, like you were a participant in like cheating with Sandoval. I'm like, she wasn't cheating though.
But if Sandoval sat there and was like, I broke up with Kristen because she's crazy, Ariana can kiss him. And all she did was kiss him.
Yes.
At the Golden Nugget. Yes. Okay, but Lala says, like, here's the difference. Like, we weren't fucking our best friend's man. Which is true. Lala sure fucked James, but she didn't actually fucking like Raquel. James didn't fucking like
and
Randall.
Again, it happened one time. It wasn't a 7-month affair.
She didn't even know about Brandy. Schwartz is an ass. And then we got the Sandoval
thing. Schwartz like kissed people. Like this isn't like some insane long-term affair hurting like Katie day in and day out.
Yes, this is up there with the Kristen Jax thing, and that's why we were so outraged about that. But this is worse. This is
but that even eclipses Jax and
this is Kristen. A full affair. Like this is wild to me. So Andy asked Katie, like, and Schwartz, where's your relationship today? And Katie said she doesn't want to be friends. And Schwartz is mad because how can you not want to be friends with him after he didn't follow the rules?
Sir, she told you the boundary.
Everyone screams that's a fucking boundary. And even this is what I've been dreaming of, you guys. James sticking up for Katie at a fucking reunion.
Incredible.
James is like, Schwartz, be a man and respect these fucking boundaries that your like friend has put up. And Lisa, I'm gonna kill her. She's like, oh my God, James, you're not like a saint or anything. And James is like, yes, but in my current relationship, what Allie says goes, and I respect that. Like, I get that.
I thought that was so sweet, such a nice comment. And like Lisa like digs at him, like, oh, in your current one?
Yes.
Ma'am, are we not allowed to grow and change?
Literally, shut the fuck up, Lisa Vanderpump. Someone send that clip to her. Fuck off. Like, get out of here.
And then Schwartz being like, oh, Katie, everything has to be on your rules. And Katie's like, it's not my rules. It's my one boundary. Thing I asked. One thing.
My boundary. Also, Lisa Vanderpump adds nothing for this reunion. She should sit out next time.
Agreed. People who cross your boundaries, or like when you set boundaries, the people who like cross them the most are the people who do not give a shit about you.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, why would Katie want that as a friend? She has learned that you do not respect her on like what her wants and needs are. So she doesn't need to be friends with you. It's cool. It's chill. Like, I'm sure she'll be cordial.
Yes. Here's my boundary. Don't cross. If
it doesn't work for you, that's fine.
Then we're not friends. Yeah. Then the consequence is this. But don't want your cake and eat it too. That's not going to happen. So Schwartz says he always was rooted for Katie when she was dating. Even Satchel.
Sir.
And Andy's like, oh my God, what happened to Satchel? So Katie's not seeing Satchel. He wanted a relationship and she knew that she couldn't give that to him. He has a different girlfriend now. So justice for
Good
Satchel,
on you, Satchel. So happy that you have maybe hopefully a loving relationship.
I hope Satchel isn't like too harmed from his 5 minutes, because
we wish you well.
Yeah, this was horrible. You don't seem like a reality TV type of person, Satchel. It just doesn't seem like your thing. The Don did great. He was great. The Don,
incredible. Bring him back.
So Andy brings up Sheena's podcast and like, did that hurt the relationship between Tom and Katie? Katie says a little bit because like, you know, but that wasn't the whole thing.
And this is honesty that yes, that hurt me.
And Katie's like, it wasn't the whole thing, because Schwartz gets upset. He's like, seriously, the podcast?
It was just a podcast.
Even Sheena took it. Sheena's like, yeah, I get it.
Sheena's like, that makes sense. I see. Like, you were hurt.
So then we talk about Joe, and Schwartz says Joe was not a girlfriend, but became a situationship with boundaries that he probably respected.
So so we get boundaries.
Yeah. I think he really he doesn't like Katie. He might have loved her, but he's never liked her.
He wants Katie to be whatever he wants. Like, that's for him to use, abuse, and do whatever he wants with, because that's the relationship that they've had. He can treat her however he wants, and she'll just be there. And now that she's realized, like, I'm not doing that anymore. She's changed the rules of the game. He's flipping out.
But that makes me think in their whole relationship, he has never liked her. He might have loved her and genuinely wanted the best for her, but he's never liked her enough to support her getting the best.
Which is so sad. And I just think it's so big of her to want to be friends with him and try.
Yeah, I wouldn't have. No.
Ugh.
But so Schwartz calls him and Joe hanging out each other's happy places. And that's when Katie's like, Joe's a fucking creep. Schwartz is like, no, she's not. And if you keep posting on her Instagram, you're gonna get a cease and assist.
The way he defended Joe, I was
wild.
like, shook.
That's why I think he could be in a relationship. He just doesn't like Katie. Like, he's never liked her.
He will, anything she says, he goes against.
Yeah, he's never liked her. So, yeah. Then he calls Katie a comment troll, and James again yells at Schwartz and is like, that's not nice. And oh my God, for James to stick up for Katie twice in part 1, I can't wait for them to like hug.
It diffuses Schwartz. He won't argue with a man.
No. And I think James recognizes that, because I think he might have said at one point, like, Schwartz just argues with women.
It's
he's
so
like,
gross.
Don't say that. That's mean. And then Andy's like, is Joe in the friend group? And Katie's like, well, by proxy, because she was Kristen Doute's crazy friend, but then Joe blocked Kristen, which I don't know who blocks Kristen.
Blocked Kristen when she moved in with Schwartz. How fucking weird. Also,
wild.
I think when Andy was asking if Joe was in the friend group, he was trying to dig if like that hurt Katie too, but it's like, she's not really in the friend group.
Yeah, she's not. She just shows up to shit.
Go ahead and like fuck her. That's not the problem. It's that she's insane.
Yeah, it's literally that she was texting Katie while fucking Schwartz. Like, it was so weird.
So odd.
So Andy asks if they went on double dates, Schwartz, Joe, Rachel, and Sandoval.
Oh,
and they're like, Schwartz, Sandoval is silent this whole time. And Schwartz is like, no, we would never. And everyone's like, oh my God, you like literally went to Big Bear, like, the 4 of you.
Come on.
Schwartz is like, it wasn't a double date. And he like yells at Sandoval.
Also note that they put in the pictures that like fans took with them and like blurred out the fans' faces.
Hilarious.
If I was the fan, I'd be like, do not blur me out.
Use my face.
I am part of this groundbreaking research on the Sandoval.
The whole face better be used.
Yes.
Put a name. Put my full name in there and point. Alicia right there. There she is.
Honestly.
My address? Hell yeah.
My address.
Schwartz is like yelling at Sandoval, like, back me up. It wasn't a double date. But Schwartz is fucking silent. Sandoval is fucking silent.
That speaks volumes.
Yeah. So basically the story I have heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the Toms did have plans to go to Big Bear.
Just the two of them.
Yeah, Schwartz invited Joe.
Yes.
And then but Sandoval knew that, and then Sandoval invited Raquel, but Schwartz didn't know that. So then they show up, and he's like, "Oh, I guess Raquel's coming."
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was kind of one of those, like, Schwartz was caught off guard, but like didn't do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, Schwartz is like, "We only went up there to snowboard. Like, why would that be a double date?" And James goes, "Raquel hates snowboarding."
Dead. That like, and that tells you even more. It's not even like you can't even come up with an excuse for it. That like, oh, I was just with her and she said, I really want to go. Like, she was there just to fuck you.
Yeah, someone goes, she didn't go for snowboarding. She went for Tom's dick. And then James starts booing the Toms. Like, hilarious. Boo. And then Ariana jumps in and she also boos them. And then Lala goes, shame. What's the funniest thing?
So funny.
Shame. Like, James just starts booing. Katie's laughing hysterically. Like, it was so funny.
We got to a point. It's just so unhinged and it's such a beautiful way.
That side is having so much fun at this reunion. The other side is like not.
I feel bad for Sheena for the first time ever, because I'm like, she can't participate in this stuff. She's like very hurt, and I feel like she just isn't this personality to like.
She wouldn't aggressively come at them.
Yeah. She will just speak the truth and like debate it a little bit, but also the
like
wolf pack.
Good for Sheena, because she has a full fucking view of the 4 of them, and I would be like, this is magical. I'm gonna take like so many brain pictures.
I would die laughing. Like, I literally hope this group went out after and like cheers.
I hope Sheena just has like because I don't cut to her, but I hope she has like a really proud like smile face while they boo, and she's just like,
she's like nodding her head,
proud mom moment. She's like, yes.
Especially because like Ariana's kind of like seemingly happy, you know,
yeah,
like
she's like, this is great. Like I said, if I'm Sheena, I'm like, I'm witnessing history. I'm gonna take so many mental notes.
can you imagine being like a random?
She takes out her phone and she's just like, this is so fun, you guys.
Well, can you imagine being like someone who worked on this reunion? Because the people who work on the reunion are different from this season. Like,
yeah,
a lot of times they hire just like weekend people to do
what if
these.
you're like, what happened? I have no idea what happened on the show, you
I
guys.
mean, it would be iconic to put this on your resume. Screw Sandoval's assistant.
Hilarious. Yeah, I actually had to escort James back to his chair because he like wouldn't sit down. Okay, then Andy asked Schwartz and Sandoval about their restaurant. It was supposed to open in August, but now it's opened in November. Stupid Greg kept holding them back because they didn't have food and they couldn't open up without food, even though Andy said
Okay,
just be a dive bar.
If they own a majority percentage, why not just say fuck you, Greg?
Yeah, fuck Greg. Oh, I'm just gonna bitch about Greg and do nothing. So the food though is good now. Lala agrees. Lisa's like, I could have turned it over, but that's not fair to these boys because they were fucking clueless. Whatever she fucking says.
Which, like, I do get that. Like, Lisa can pop out a restaurant in her sleep. Like, it will take these guys longer, but
it's their first time.
Over
Sandoval
a year.
Sandoval can never stop decorating.
I really enjoyed. I don't know who's the one who said it, but they were like, yeah, that like final design change was like the nail in the coffin.
Said it. He's like, I'm not gonna throw my dude under the bus, but like it was rough.
But like, shouldn't have done that.
So the Toms, don't know what they're doing. They also got back like their 50K investment. I couldn't tell if they just because they each put in 50K. I couldn't tell if they just took out like 50K or they each again took out 50K.
I couldn't understand it either because then I was like, okay, so is their percentage smaller in Tom Tom?
Because I can imagine them being like, we're gonna take out like 50K, so we'll each own 2.5%. You know, like I don't know what, because they kept being like each we put in, we took out each, and I was like, I know what. So I don't really care though. Lisa says she's always been on their side, even when it's not easy. Schwartz thinks that there are different reasons they didn't open. It wasn't just Sandoval. This is where he's like, but your design choices, bro. Sandoval has not paid his mom back the retirement fund, but she's okay because she wouldn't have given him the money if it was do or die. And also he'll pay her back no matter what.
I'm sorry, what?
Everyone on Ariana's side is like holding in a laugh. Like they're all just like, oh man.
So to be the confidence of a white 40-year-old male.
What is it? 250K he took?
Who doesn't need 250K in their retirement? Your mom is not like that old where she's gonna like kick it.
Or was it less?
Soon.
I don't know. He took her firefighter pension. Like she worked for
years
the government. Yeah, like she gets a good pension. Whatever. That's his mom's problem, honestly.
But him thinking like, oh, no matter what, I'll be able to give it back to her.
Yeah, with all my brand deals, all my brand deals that I'm never gonna get.
Your band ain't making money.
I said brand that
I know, but his band isn't either. Like, where's this money coming from?
Zero ideas. Okay, so Schwartz and Sandy's, it's back on the map. However, people are still, you know, even though they went through those rough times, people are still writing Team Ariana on the bathroom.
Yeah, but Schwartz says like, oh, but it's back. Like it's all love there now.
We're fine. Like, I was just there. It was all love.
I'm sorry. Who is going there?
I know Nick Viall and his podcast is going this weekend.
Okay.
They're gonna go try it out. They said so. They told Charlie because Charlie is on this week, and Charlie literally goes, "Ew, why are you going there?"
Gross.
Like she's like, "Why?" And then they also had another like Bravo historian who actually did a full dissertation on Sandoval, and I want to read it. But she also he invited her, and she's like, "I don't know if I'm gonna go."
I don't want to go. No, I don't want to go at all. I don't ever need to go if I'm honest. It's in a strip mall.
I want to take a picture of me in the strip mall and go. No. I came. Okay, so Greg and Sandoval, you know, they've been rough, but Greg prevents them from just running wild. Whatever. Fuck this restaurant. Okay, so Andy asked Schwartz, was it worth it?
Ooh.
And Schwartz is like, hey man, that's a loaded question. And Lisa's like, you should just fucking say something.
The only time I've been proud of Lisa this entire episode.
Just say it. So Schwartz says it was worth it, but it was a lot of pressure on the marriage, and he regrets not being there for Katie more. And Lisa's like, listen, if your relationship was actually where it needed to be, and like you guys would have been supportive through this.
Yeah, like this wouldn't have broken you.
Schwartz is like, you're right. Katie was not supportive.
Oh.
And Katie's like, fuck off.
I feel like she was so supportive.
She was
And
so
even
supportive.
after the divorce, she was supportive.
Yeah. And then Schwartz tries to tell Katie that her feelings are like not valid about how she feels about the supportive thing. And Katie's like, no, basically, like you just like made your bed.
You prioritized everything over me. You turned me and Sandoval, you pitted us against each other, which I'm so happy she actually says that, because I feel like last season she never really identified that to Schwartz.
Yeah.
But he really did.
He did. He loved his friends fighting, because then Sandoval would argue with Katie and he wouldn't have to.
100%. It's so gross.
So then Andy asks Sandoval, was it worth it? And Sandoval says, the challenge is worth it.
Stop. I hate you for a million and one reasons, and you just gave me a million and two.
Remember what Ariana said. Don't even give him the attention.
You're right.
So Andy asks, will Ariana and Lisa stay in touch if she has a relationship with Tom? And Ariana says they just won't be as close. And Lisa's like, what? Are you?
Why is Lisa shocked by this?
I've been so supportive. And Ariana's like, no. Like, I get it. But I would just feel like I couldn't open up as much. And then Lisa is still upset. And Andy's like, do you think Lisa will cut ties with Tom? And Ariana's like, no, I think Lisa knows what's best for her. And Ariana again is like, Lisa's like, pardon? What? And Ariana's just like, I'm not going to give you business advice. Like
you got to do things for you. That's separate. But I'm not going to confide in you. Show up at these restaurants where they're going to be. Like, that's normal. I feel like Ariana's giving Lisa so much grace to continue with her life.
Yeah.
Unaffected.
Ariana just says, like, she's going to love and support Lisa, but she's not going to stop in the restaurant. Yeah. And Lisa's like, I would love to stay close with you. And Ariana's like, okay.
I don't think Lisa gets it.
I think Lisa's Team Tom. So, like, truthfully.
But it's like she's very self-centered in this moment, being like, I can't believe... But basically, it's coming off as like, I can't believe you wouldn't stop in at Tom and support my business. And it's like, no, I'm not going there. That's also where she found out.
Yeah, no, it's not happening. We're never going to the scene of the crime again. So Andy brings
why
up...
do I hate Tom now?
God damn it. I've heard the drinks are so good. Okay, so Andy brings up something about her. They're not open, but they will be end of May, which is...
I kind of doubt it.
This is the only place we eat in LA now.
100%. I've seen on TikTok, people are walking past. They have things painted. I think at the end of June, they'll be open.
Okay, cool. So they sold merch after the affair broke. They made $200K.
Woo! Way to show up, everyone.
The Tom's faces they're so fucking mad.
Somebody was like, I know Tom's, at the beginning of this episode, Tom's like, sadness is fake, because the look on his face here is his pure sadness.
Yeah, this was it. This was truly his sadness. So people were reaching out saying they want to help Ariana, and they were like, you can buy our merch. And Ariana brought some for Andy if he wants to replace that trash he got at Watch What Happens Live, which was the Tom sweatshirt that Raquel gave him.
And that was the night the affair broke, by the way.
And yes. And then Ariana kind of says something, I think I got this right, that's not actually Tom merch. It's Sandoval merch, because he said Tom couldn't use his designs.
Which, like...
So that's like Sandoval merch.
Yes. It's his band merch, not Tom merch.
Yeah.
And he will not let Tom, the restaurant, use it.
Sell it. Yeah.
What a great partner you have there, Lisa.
5%, baby. So James is like, I love your merch. I would wear it.
He also goes, I'll make it fashionable.
I love. Okay, so last season, Lala was really hard on Brock. But now Lala and Sheena are really close. And they say that the kids brought them closer together, and they understood, or they like understand each other better now, and now they're neighbors. And Andy asked Katie, like, does Lala's friendship with Sheena, like, do you have an issue with that? And Katie doesn't answer at first. I think she's like trying to find the correct words. Mm-hmm. But Schwartz is like, Katie, you told me that you feel like Lala's not giving you the same loyalty that you're giving to Lala.
Sir, where is this your place?
Katie's literally like, shut the fuck up. Also, if the roles were reversed, Lala wouldn't be happy with her.
Yeah.
And Lala says, you know what? It's really the kids that have them like really creating this friendship. And then Lala, of course, is like, it sounds like we're dating, Sheena. We're in it for the kids. And Katie's like, no, I get that. I just feel like there is a double standard. Like if this were to happen reverse.
Yeah. And I agree. I think Lala's a very cut and dry, it's me or it's her person. And Katie says, I never asked you to do that. I never said that, but I just feel like it would be different.
Yeah. I appreciate at one point, Sheena's like, she's always had your, like Lala's never not had your back. Okay, so Andy asked Sheena if she regrets not having Lala as a bridesmaid. Lala says, yeah, but or
Sheena
Katie,
says, yeah.
sorry, Sheena says yes, but Lala's like, I'm happy I wasn't in it. I hate that shit.
This is the most realistic thing ever.
I get it. So at the time, Sheena and Lala were just in a different place than they are. But if it was like, if she was getting married this year instead of last year to Brock, I don't know why Lisa was fucking confused about this.
I know.
If her wedding was just a year later, then Lala would be a bridesmaid. And Andy asks, like, what, like, never forget when Lala said that Randall's a stand-up guy and Brock's like a deadbeat father, but now she's feeling the opposite, obviously. So like, how did that happen? And Lala said it was a very humbling moment that happened to her in her life. And she was judging Sheena and Brock's relationship as an outsider, but now they've spent time together. She's seen Brock with Sheena, Summer, Ocean, and he is absolutely incredible. You guys should go watch her vlogs. They're very fun.
I don't think it's wrong for Lala to have questioned Brock and his motives and things. I think the way she went about it is wrong and how hard she went. But Brock even said that in that clip we saw this season, like, you were being a good friend. He
reached, which is hilarious. Not hilarious, that's the wrong word, but it's like cute because Lala did not consider Brock a friend, but Brock's like, you were being a good friend to me in the end. Like Brock's just
I think he was saying a good friend to like Sheena. Like you were looking out for her. Like you were questioning my motives for your friend.
I took that as a friend of Brock because Brock since has reached out to his other like mother of his
that too. I mean, like
Australia,
it has helped heal things. Like I again, I don't think the way that it went so hard, but I want my friend to like question a man that like it isn't paying like for his kids.
I think Brock really is just like a good guy. I know that
I do
crazy,
too,
but like I think he's a good guy.
It takes a minute to see people's actions.
Yes.
And like he has proven himself, and I love that like this narrative did get told, even though Brock's not on this season.
On Shenanigans, I was in tears when Lala was like crying about how Brock is that father figure for Ocean because she can't give that to Ocean.
It makes me really sad that we don't get to see that type of stuff because Ocean's not on the show.
Fuck you, Randall.
Like that's huge.
Okay, so Andy asked Katie about her relationship with Sheena. Katie said she felt like Sheena was siding with Schwartz when there didn't have to be sides. And here's Schwartz sticking up for Sheena. And I appreciate Sheena kind of being like, nah, not necessary. So Sheena says that she feels differently now. She's watched back the show from Katie's perspective and gets she was getting a different story from Rachel about how like Katie was treating Rachel. And Sheena wishes she had more empathy. And also like all this shit from Rachel, right? If your best friend is like, this person's being mean to me, this person does horrible shit, this person's an awful person, you're gonna be like, fuck that person, right?
Yeah.
So that's what was happening, and Sheena was blinded by that. But now we know Rachel's a liar. And when Sheena watched it, she saw Katie was not even that bad. And then Katie's just like not the person that Rachel painted her to be in Sheena's eyes. And Katie said, like, since the affair, they're cool. Sheena has apologized and they've like had a rough go at their friendship. So now Katie just wants to see the behavior change and wants Sheena to be more trusting of people instead of throwing blind loyalty.
Yeah.
I also enjoy how Sheena was never like, but also she like fully took it.
Listen, for Sandoval screaming accountability on things, this is how you take accountability on something. Like,
yeah. And
I think Sheena was so mature in this.
Yeah. And Sheena's like, it was humbling what, she went through. She thought Rachel was being honest. And like, Sheena has also gotten, she said bullied by Katie and Lala before. So she believed Rachel. I think Sheena was bullied by Katie. I don't think she was bullied by Lala.
I agree.
Okay,
I
cool.
agree.
I think Katie for sure.
And I
was
do think
rough.
also bully is like thrown around too much, so it like loses its weight. Like we just use the term bully for when someone's mean to you. I think Lala was mean to Sheena. I don't think she bullied her.
No, but I think bully to me is like you relentlessly are on this person for
Is
no reason.
old school Vanderpump what Katie did. I don't think Katie's a bully to her now.
No. I think, but like Sheena has had that from Katie. Is what I'm saying. Like, we saw a clip. I think that was a good thing. If I remember correctly, at that, Sheena was literally just like in the bathroom, and Katie got drunk and like yelled at her.
Yeah,
Sheena was like, I don't. Okay, so anyway, Lala does say like we're not bullying, we're on Bravo. And then Sandoval goes, bullying isn't actually an age thing. And Lala goes, shut the fuck up, you piece of shit.
The like, way Sandoval needs his voice heard in every single argument and to yell at these women when he is not a part of it.
We're literally talking about women relationships.
Who is your PR person? Because they need to tell you, I'm sure they probably have told you to shut the fuck up.
So Lala goes off. She's like, you, Sandoval, and that fucking Rachel have always triggered me. And now we know why. Because you both are fucking snakes or whatever. She said it was awesome. And then James goes, worms. And then Lala said, you know what? She might say crazy shit and she might hurt your feelings, but sticks and stones, baby. She's not fucking your man. And then Lisa gets involved and is like, well, Lala, you always said that you were very aggressive towards Rachel and you've owned that. And Katie goes, well, that's accountability. And Lala's like, yeah, Sandoval sits here, talks about accountability. Like I took accountability when I was like aggressive towards Rachel.
Yes.
Although well-deserved. So Sandoval then is like, Lala, you need to take accountability. And Lala goes, for what? And
well, so he goes, see, yeah, accountability. I'm taking accountability right now. You need to take accountability. Oh, sir, what are you taking accountability for? Because all I've seen this episode is you blaming other people and lying about shit.
You just get caught for the action and you're owning that action, but you're not owning the reason we got there or like how it's your demons that got you there or like anything. You're just being like,
you're just agreeing to things that have come to light. Like, yes, that happened.
Yes, agreed. So now we're screaming James and Lala versus surprisingly Sandoval and Lisa.
Again, Lisa, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, Lala tells Lisa to stop, and then James tells Lisa she's sticking up for Tom too much, and then James gets up again. I think he's so mad at Lisa that he's gonna say something
she's like,
he's gonna regret.
No, I'm not.
And James is like, you're doing it. I appreciate again James stepping up and being like, no, you're not gonna.
To be honest, I don't think there's anything that in my book he can say that he'll regret because like Lisa is going too far. Oh, Lisa, you want to fire James from See You Next Tuesday? Okay, your most popular event at SUR?
Good luck.
Sure. That's what we're gonna fire people for, but not like blowing up like somebody you love's life. Like, okay, that's what side we're gonna be on here.
So next time on part 2, I'm not going to go into it too much because we'll talk about it. But Allie joins the reunion. Schwartz and Katie get into it. Sheena cries. Raquel enters the reunion. And we see more of the one-on-one with Raquel.
Oh, and like Sheena gets that paperwork. That's not real.
I just put that as Sheena's crying because all we saw was like, I have something for you, and then her cry. So fucking, I don't care.
Also, I don't think we're actually going to get Raquel. I think that's going to be the very end where she walks out.
Which kind of sucks because we have a lot to talk about with her. So we need, if anything, we would need her for 2 full parts.
Let's be honest. Her stuff is going to be the thing that like the showrunner's saying, like, that's why they're not picking up cameras and like they're waiting because there's new information going to be told. It's in her one-on-one.
Yeah, but like
just give it to us.
There is nothing I can think of that would make these people not want to film. Like there's not. I can't think of anything. Okay, we have some thoughts. Sarah said, so I haven't watched the extended version yet, but I couldn't stand waiting a few extra hours for it. I've got to say this season, Lisa Vanderpump has never been more irrelevant to Vanderpump Rules. Agreed. I don't even know what to say about this episode. I honestly think I'll have to come back and leave another comment. My brain is still processing everything. One thing I believe for sure, Tom Sandoval crying after his first walkout, bullshit tears. Not necessarily crocodile tears or acting, but when I watched it, reactionary tears. Sometimes when people are in very high stress situations, they react with tears. I do it. It's me. That's my problem. I think Tom found himself in a highly escalated incredibly tense, high stress situation where he was backed into a corner, outnumbered, and can't explode with anger to get himself out of it. And that is what generated the tears, a nervous reaction, nothing more.
See, I think it's all fake because then he immediately has this cool, calm, steady tone.
I know I cry. Yeah, when I cry during stress, I can't stop. So
I'm like I can't even speak. I'm like, my whole world is freaking out.
When I was tracked on that airplane in Austin, I cried for like 8 hours straight. I couldn't stop.
But even if he is crying, it's like he's crying for himself. Like
he's sad.
He's feeling the pressure. He's whatever.
P.S. Also, maybe you've addressed this on Summer's Fun, but I'm not up to date. Oh, are you covering the new spinoff Martha's Vineyard is Fun? Or will you call it Martha's Vineyard is Fun? Maybe.
No, we will. We will do it just after this.
No, I said I don't know if we'll call it that, but we're definitely gonna do this.
Yes,
the spinoff.
We'll catch back up.
We're gonna catch up. Also, Friendly Neighborhood PSA, one season wonder. I know, girl. That's my show. It's my favorite thing to do. Okay. Tonette said, hearing Andy say, stay in the fucking chair to James was great. And then Brittany said James was on one and it was hilarious. I loved when he mocked them trying to put him in a timeout. Oh my God, I fucking died. Brittany also said Team Wolfpack is hilarious. I have no choice but to stan. Love James standing up for the girls and going at Schwartz and sandals. Not a typo.
Schwartz and sandals.
Yeah, not a typo. Honestly, not sure which Tom sucks more. Schwartz really gives me the ick. Even his situationship got more of a defense than he ever gave Katie. He's a narcissist and just gross. I love how Sandoval's fake tear mask slipped as soon as the Wolfpack called him out on it. LOL, he's a weirdo. Watch the uncensored version on Peacock if you get a chance. It's worth it for sure. It
Agreed.
is. It's wild. Okay, Aisha said, I know we all hate Sandoval and Rachel, but it's hard to forget that about the cast member or castmates issues as well. Lala made one great point during the episodes. Sandoval is dangerous. I did appreciate her stating this and defending it to Lisa, who was truly the asswipe of the Toms. It's pathetic. However, Alicia should be thanking Sandoval and Rachel for being complete idiots this season. Otherwise, she would have to answer for the things she now refuses to take accountability for on the show and her personal life. Of course, she's the Oh, wait, Lala. Sorry, not Lisa.
I was going to say, what did Lisa do?
Lala should be thanking Sandoval and Rachel for being complete idiots this season. Otherwise, she would have to answer for the things she now refuses to take accountability for on the show and her personal life. Of course, she's the victim, but to a certain level. Nobody forced her to harass Rand's wife at the time.
Ooh.
She was an active participant in the affair. Now she's latched herself onto this fair hate campaign of Sandoval and Rachel, like it isn't the same type, like she isn't the same type of woman as Rachel. But it's different. I'll say it's different when it's your friend's man.
Yeah.
I know it's not right. What Lala did was not right. Well,
listen, I think Lala has had some redemption. I think she's learned a lot and she's talked about that. And I think there is a room for Raquel to have redemption, but she's got to own shit, have some growth. Like, it's going to take a while for that.
You know how we talk about like karma versus like consequences? I think there was some karma in Randall doing like the same thing to Lala because she did do it and she didn't want to take ownership for it for a while, but she is now.
And like having to deal with him for the rest of her, like
that's
Ocean's like next
that's super
17 years. Like there's like consequences to her actions that she will have to deal with for a very long time. I don't think it like negates. I don't think her saying like what Sandoval's doing wrong negates what she's done. But I think you can still comment on where other people like fucked up, no matter what you've done.
So Aisha also says Sheena should watch her back. The complete 180 from Haiti Brock to crying about Ocean needing a father like him. Now she's moved next door to them. I would not trust Lauren. Really? I think it's a growth, but we'll see. You know what? Time will tell.
I think a lot of it happened off camera, so it's hard to like actually comment.
Aisha also says, furthermore, I wish Bravo would address the drug usage on the show. I think Ariana is still protecting Tom's truths while he wants to push her into traffic to save himself. James couldn't stay still this episode. He kept walking off the set. I'm sure it wasn't due to anger. It was due to him needing to do more drugs. Ooh.
I've always like wondered about that because it like is talked about in the like dark corner of the like the earth, but it's
we don't know enough to speculate. Like we don't. Schwartz is a diabolical weirdo. I can't say that enough. He knew the entire time and had scenes where he made jokes and insinuated things were happening while smiling in Ariana's face. He doesn't respect anybody but Sandoval. He isn't worthy of a single person's friendship, especially Katie's friendship, after he continued to cheat on her during their marriage. The plan was to make Ariana look crazy as they've done to Katie and Kristen. Sandoval was unsuccessful. I'm so glad she opened that phone and found that video. Please listen to her call her daddy interview. It was so good.
It was. She also like would not play into the game. Like Kristen kind of like played into it, unfortunately. Ariana would never.
No. So Tracy said my absolute favorite part was when Schwartz was getting yelled at and he's begging for Sandoval to help / back him up. And Sandoval does barely anything. Season 11 might be the downfall of the Toms relationship. No, they don't have anyone else. Schwartz is going to be a little bitch and do whatever Sandoval wants.
They kind of have to ride with each other. They've got no one else.
Okay, last comments. Tyranny said, here we go. I have so much to say, but my thoughts are jumbled, so I'm sorry for being all over the place. Lala's literally saying everything we as the viewers want to say. I actually appreciate Lala clapping back at Lisa when Lala was comparing Sandoval to Randall. Rachel watching in the trailer with that fucking smile. I want to wipe it off her fucking face. I'm so disappointed in Lisa. I understand she has a business relationship with the Toms, but she went too far defending Sandoval's behavior. Ariana and Katie giving Andy merch was perfect, especially when James chimed in and said he'd make it fashionable. I would recommend listening to Ryan Bailey's podcast episode where he had a psychiatrist on and she got into the behaviors on most of the cast. It was really interesting and hearing a professional's opinion. Okay, 3 more weeks to go. No, 2 more to go. We got it. We have this, friends. Thanks for the boost, Tyranny, because sometimes it feels bleak up in here. No, this was a great episode. I think we did the reunion okay. If you like hated the format we did it, I guess like let us know, but no promises I'll change anything about myself. But yeah, do the things before it's too late. We understand that the live seasons are coming to a close, so you might not want to join our Patreon, but if you do want to be a part of giving your thoughts for the final 2 episodes, be sure to join that $5 Patreon tier. And please leave us a 5-star review before you leave us for the live season. We're getting to the end and then our ratings, stay the same because we have nothing new to give. So,
but thanks for listening, guys. It's been a wild ride. 2 more.
It's not over.
2 more. We got it. Thanks for joining. Bye.